What is up, Sneeples?
What's up, gamers?
Back at it again. A little bit more consistent. We're coming back every fucking week for another new podcast. We got some things to talk about this one. Uh, how we feeling today? How we doing today? We
Great.
ready for this?
Feeling great. I'm feeling great. We got a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it.
All right. All right. So, uh, first thing that we're going to talk about here is we got that Rampart of the Ram's Head, particularly the misprint one. If you don't know about this, in the Japanese Mastery Pack, so the way that you can get Guardian cards in Japanese, only I think sold in Japan.
Hmm.
The Ram's head, Rampart of the Ram's Head, is misprinted in that. It's actually an advantageous misprint because the defense value is one. It already starts with one defense value instead of zero. So because it's misprinted, they're going to have three callings in Japan next year or near Japan. I think three, though, where you can trade in that misprinted card to get a full art Ram's head. And I use full art instead of Marvel because uh, apparently it won't be foil. And apparently the reasoning for that is because it will break the reprint policy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the reprint policy protects cold foils from being reprinted again. Only from sets though, right? So
Right.
if it was a promo or something, then they could
Yeah.
do it. And there was always this question of like, do they consider Marvel's cold foils? Like, could they just, if a card comes cold
Right.
foil, like Tunic, right? Tunic comes cold
Hmm.
foil. Could they make a Marvel Tunic? And I guess the answer is no based on this. Not guaranteed, but it seems like it's a no.
Do you think I see? Okay, yeah, I agree with you on that, but like to me, it's uh, like I don't see a future where there isn't going to be a Marvel tunic, and so
I am with you, and they get around this by making it an alternate art.
okay, sure, yeah, this Ram's head is definitely not the alternate art; it's the same art. But then, like, my whole hang up is okay. I got two hang ups. First off, it feels like they already did this with the heroes, which
Well,
I guess those are promos, so I
they're
guess that's
they're
the
promos,
reasoning
so they
why.
don't count, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, which is all right. But then like this mastery set, like is this considered like, under the same basis as a set that it comes out of, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it's like not it's not worldwide, right? It's not even like an expansion set. It's or like, anything of that nature. It's just like this like individual like I don't know, it doesn't feel like any other set. So I don't even classify it really as a set. So that's why I don't know if this like I'm not sure this Ram's head I guess would be the most sought out Ram's head because I guess it'd be the most rarest.
Surely, yeah, surely. Well, I don't know. After everyone turns them in, maybe the one that blocks for one will be the rarest.
I mean, yeah, right. Like how many? Yeah, maybe you just keep that one, right? Yeah, and that one is kind of cool.
Yeah, I would be tempted to keep it if I had it, honestly.
Yeah, you almost want to get two so you can turn
Right.
in one,
And
and
then
yeah.
keep the other, yeah. I wonder
Although
which one will
this
be
is
more.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's a non-foil, I kind of don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like when I first saw it, I expected it to Marvel Cold Foil, and I was like, "Fuck, I want that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like now, it's just like, oh, it's just like a full art, card, which they've never done that before. No, they have. They have done full art promos before that weren't foil.
Uh,
Way
Back in the
back
day
there.
with the armory stuff, yeah.
Yeah, way
Those
way
cards are
back
all
then.
cool though. I think they all look nice, yeah.
They do look cool. Yeah,
And
I
people
think
aren't
I'm just
afraid to
spoiled.
play with them in their deck because they're not foil and whatnot.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they won't bend.
Yeah,
But then like this is a piece of equipment, so you don't have to worry about that regardless.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm spoiled. I think I love cold foils, man. And so if it's not a cold foil, I just
That
like
no, that's totally fair. Yeah, it would be way sicker if it was, but still pretty cool.
it's still pretty cool. So, but like, okay, I guess my whole question is like, what is it about the reprint system? Like, why can't this be a cold foil?
Yeah, it's to protect people's investments though, right?
Okay.
But they could have
It
just
feels.
made it
Yeah,
an
go ahead.
alternate art and still made it cold foil or
I
something.
mean, yeah. But it kind of feels that way. It's not an alternate art, but
Yeah.
like the background is like, you see the background now, right? Before you didn't really see the background.
Yeah.
Um, it just still feels like a different card.
Right. Yeah, I mean that reprint policy, like it does help with some things, but like it doesn't really protect you from a lot of stuff as well. Like if you had a foil pink sink below, you feel
Sure.
protected, but then it's like, well, they just make a cold foil, or they could just make a marvel,
Which they
or they
have.
could just make an alternate art marvel. So like it
Right.
protects you and it doesn't at the same time. I don't really put too much weight into that policy. I mean, it's nice that the same exact card can't exist, but that
Sure.
doesn't mean that you'll always have the best version of that card.
Yeah. Yeah, especially yeah, no, especially yeah, because if these new versions are more rarer than like a cold foil ram's head, which
Mhm.
I gotta imagine are pretty numerous because just Tails was printed pretty widely. So like then that would just go against the whole policy because then it just is like, all right, well, your cold foil is a cold foil, but this this full art non-foil is actually like the rarest one, or the one that blocks for one is the rarest one.
Yeah, like it protects you and it doesn't, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm, just getting into this game. Flesh of Blood just started. I want to max rarity my deck. Cold Foil Tunic. I'm gonna buy it because I know it can't be reprinted.
Yeah.
Okay, RTN season. Winner gets an extended art Gold Foil Tunic or whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh
Yeah,
well, now I don't have
yeah.
max
Yeah.
rarity in this. I was kind of promised I would with the reprint policy. So yeah, when people talk about the reprint policy, I don't put as much weight into it. It is kind of nice to have like some kind of baseline rules. They can't just straight reprint it.
Yeah, that is nice.
And it is weird when we go back to other games. Like you remember when we were playing that Star Wars Unlimited pre-release and you're like, this is a reprint. I was like, dang, I forgot what that feels like.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is nice that we are like we do have reprints, but like, they're not like immediate. Like we never have like one set have a reprint, then the next set have that same reprint. And then they're never foils. So it's like this never really comes up. And this is obviously a weird situation.
hmm
So it's like I guess that's why it's coming up, but I typically yeah, we probably wouldn't have this happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just like their patterns and their behavior makes me feel more comfortable buying and investing in cards than the actual written reprint policy. Yeah, the written reprint policy doesn't do much for me, but like, with Ravenous Rabble, they reprint it, they don't make it foil. With Crown of
Sure.
Providence, they reprint it, they don't make it foil.
Hmm.
They could have made it alternate art, extended, cooler Crown of Providence. They could have, like, they did with CNC.
Right.
They could have done a lot of stuff, but they didn't. The CNC, I think, I didn't care for that. I thought that was a big miss on their part. But
Oh, the fabled one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's honestly weirdly enough the it's one of the few, I think one of two fables I don't have, and I just don't even care.
I have no desire to get it because I'd have to
Yeah.
get three of them. And then
Uh,
it's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I like my fables being gems in places. I'm good with that. That's the only one that it wasn't, right?
I think they tried it and it didn't land the way
Yeah,
they wanted it to, so they stopped
sure.
doing it. That's what it seems like to me, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I think so too. I know this is a little off or like, off topic, but when you're talking about the reprint of Ravenous Rebel, wouldn't it be a great reprint for this next set?
Because it's red, it's a zero before we go again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be maybe a little
It
pretty.
might be a
It'd
little
be
too
like a
good.
little Fendal's fighting spirit, like level of
Yeah,
power, like always a pack one, pick one. But
right.
I think it would be cool, I guess. Yeah,
I don't know. I'd be kind of into it,
yeah.
but
But they've
yeah,
already reprinted it once in another set, and then once as a
yeah.
promo. Uh, that
That's true.
EA. That
Yep.
was a sick art, by the way.
That art reminds me of like the playmat art that is in Calling Memphis. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh, it's like it almost that art. It's like the girl Runeblade with the rain and whatnot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't that look like a Runeblade Leave No Witnesses? That's exactly what it looks like to me.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. I didn't even think about it like that. It does look fucking badass. It does look cool. I don't usually buy Fable packages, but that is a cool fucking playmat.
Yeah, are you doing it for the playmat?
I don't know. Probably not, but I'm gonna see it around me because I'm gonna go to college in Memphis and I'll see it around me. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah, you know I'm trying to make it out there, so I'll get the
Hell
Fabled
yeah,
package and I will happily trade you
you
the
always
playmat.
do.
Yeah.
You always do.
Well, I like the promos and I always try and get
The
rid of the
promos are
mat,
cool.
so
They got that new unmovable promo that's gonna be out there too.
that was so funny, bro. When I posted it in the Discord and then everyone's like, "This card seems good."
Yeah, that's how old unmovable is, bro.
It's so old. Yeah, these kids don't even know it exists. Like it's already a card, guys. You can play it right now.
Right now.
But
Yep.
I wonder if that little guy on there is gonna be a hero.
You know what? I this might be a little racist of me as far as the dwarf race goes,
Uh-oh.
because maybe I don't know, like you could tell me he's not the same guy as the belittle guy, you know?
Hey, maybe he is. Maybe we get the
Maybe he
belittle guy
is.
on a hero. That would be
Yeah,
sick.
bring him back, bro. Unban my boy.
It combos so well. You search the blue minnowism, and then you leave it in your hand, and the next turn you can pay for the unmovable.
He'd be a cool hero if like his hero power was just kind of belittle. You know what I mean? It's like um, just something along those lines, make it like forcing you to play small attacks.
I think he'll be a guardian though,
I mean, unmovable is a classically guardian card, so that
and
would
like
fit within that. Yeah,
dwarves are classically a guardian
right.
race. Not to profile or anything, but
Yeah, well, we're a little edgy on this one.
but I mean, he's got that giant axe in minnowism. It'd be hard to
Yeah,
imagine him as anything but a guardian. I guess he could be a warrior.
I think he
Uh,
has a hammer in unmovable too, which is another
yeah,
guardian.
right.
Yeah, so
So I bet you they just put him out in the mastery pack.
yeah. Which, by the way, okay, so before we get into that, real quick, I want your honest opinion on this, or like what you would do, because this is the first time this is going to happen to me. I have foil pink unmovables.
Tough,
I
tough.
know, I know. Which one do I get? Because you know that one's looking good.
I go for that. I think the alt art looks a lot better, and it's probably
Yeah,
like for max rarity.
yeah,
I think it's always. It doesn't matter about like the actual foiling style or any of that. It's just whichever one's more expensive is probably always considered max rarity. So a good
right,
example of this would be like the Blood Rot token, frailty, all that. The
right. The
EA
cold
rainbow
foil
ones
less.
are more rare than the cold foils. So
Yep.
that's what I would play, and that's what I would consider
Okay.
max rarity. So I think I'll do the same with the new unmovable promo. I'll play that instead
Yeah.
of the pink.
It looks cool. It's hard to
Uh,
not play cards look cool.
yeah, so I wonder if they're gonna give him in a mastery pack. That means what? We're getting him and Valda. How many heroes are coming in there? Do you think they just why not throw Bravo and all of them in there? Why not? Honestly,
Okay, obviously not more than four. They've never done that.
but
Well,
it's not
maybe they
supposed to
have.
be
They
a,
have in Crucible, I guess,
and
but
they have
yeah.
in heavy hitters. Heavy hitters had six.
True. Oh yeah, true. What am I saying?
Yeah,
What am I
so
saying?
you
I'm
might
all
forget
over the
about
place.
Betsy and
Yeah,
Olympia and Reinhardt, but they were in there.
they were in there. Um, yeah. Okay, but surely not. Like, okay, I feel like three is the max, only because like we've had something like this with bright lights, where it was like all of one class.
Yes. I don't
Yeah,
know, like, it's a mastery pack and it's not a main set, right? That's like kind
not
of the
main
whole
set.
point, and half the
Yep.
cards are reprints.
Right.
So since it's not a main set, that means that we're not going to have to draft it, right? We're not going to have to play
That's
sealed with
right.
it. So why
That's
do they
right.
have to follow any formula with it? I think they're
I mean, that's a
trying.
fair point.
I think they're probably trying to just like it's for new players. They want to do the crack shuffle play thing again. For the new players, they want to give the new players the Guardian cards. Makes sense. But I bet you they just throw every Guardian that makes sense in there.
Okay. I mean, it would be cool for. I mean, so we know for a fact Adult Valda is going to be there. We know that.
Yeah, they
And
confirmed
then
that one.
now with the spoilers that we've gotten, um, like Earth Lord Bounty is more than likely going to be reprinted as well. as a chess piece.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would imagine so, just because it seems like they probably want to do a seismic surge like theme
Oh,
within the
sure,
mastery
based on
pack.
the new spoilers you're saying.
Yep, yep,
I could
yep.
see it. Yeah. Well, hey, I feel like once a month I tell people to buy Earthlore Bounty Gold Foil, the EA. It's
Oh yeah,
still cheap. It's like $25. It's like,
yeah. Get that shit now,
yeah.
especially. For sure.
Even if they weren't
Honestly,
though, like even just Volda, like maybe would just want to
no.
play that card anyway, even if there was
I
no extra stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Like I legit think that even um just with like the spoilers we got and like if nothing else was given to us in the mastery pack, Valda and Blitz doesn't seem bad. If you got the Earthlore bounty and these new cards, seems good. Seems fine.
Yeah, seems fine. And then Tectonic Rift could be a big card too in the future, depending how much they lean into those seismic
That's true.
surges.
That's true. Yeah, it being a majestic was very weird because it didn't feel like a majestic type card. But
Yeah,
maybe
I
now
agree.
we're starting to see it. Maybe it'll come up in power.
And it
Uh,
was a Bright Lights expansion Majestic, which is
right.
those Bright Light expansion cards, whenever they become good, they just go absolutely crazy in price because little Bright Lights was opened, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. This is kind of like a little bit of a little market watch episode
Yeah,
today. We're doing.
we're getting too markety with it
That's all right, dude. I
uh
I I appreciate it. I'm learning stuff.
with the reprint policy and now all this seismic surge talk.
Yeah, yeah. I do think Balda needs a specialization, so we gotta have a Balda specialization.
Oh, she
Maybe
100% will get one. I
yeah,
have no doubt in my mind.
maybe a Yoji specialization.
Maybe an adult
Uh,
Yoji.
maybe an adult
I
Yoji.
bet you he has a different hero power though, but yeah, I bet you we get one.
I want him to be draconic just for lore wise. I don't know how that works functionality, but
um, I mean, I could see it if he played like a zealous belting kind of play style, like
sure.
hold 4 cards to be able to do stuff.
The
Uh,
most aggressive guardian. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean,
I'd be
if you start with like 44 life, why not? You got a little buffer zone.
44 life and like 10 armor, more than 10 armor, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah,
you're okay to go aggressive.
yeah, for sure. What if he kept his actual just the same ability, but that would
I
be
bet you, dude, they're gonna put Yoji in there. Think about it: the crack shuffle play, which they really want us to do, and then
right.
UPF, which they really want us to play UPF too. You
hmm
know how much they want
hmm
us to play UPF.
I don't know. I wonder if they took a step back from that. I kind of feel like they have. I think they're like, we
Dude, we are
tried.
forced to play UPF all the time, bro. I don't want to play it. They're gonna make us with the Guardian pack, I bet you.
I hope not. Or I hope it changes, whatever. But like, you know what? They haven't given us like last year. They gave us Squeezy and Fluff around this time.
Yeah,
They didn't do that to us this year.
we got
But the card is kind of a UPF
yeah,
card, though. Yeah, so maybe you're right. All right, maybe they are pushing it.
and then we got
Uh,
Scarf for a Scarf, which is only legal in UPF. It's not
yeah,
legal
that's
anywhere
true.
else.
Right.
Um,
All right, now fuck it. Yeah, it's being pushed. You're right.
still to this day. Maybe one day it'll take off. I have no
Maybe.
idea. Hope not, though.
Come on now.
Isn't that what happened to Magic? Wasn't Magic
Uh,
like a competitive game at one point, and then
right.
Commander just kind of took it over?
Yeah, well, Magic shot itself in the foot too. But yeah,
What?
Commander
How?
is well, okay. Okay, so what happened is Magic is so like money oriented, and I should say Wizards Coast under Hasbro is very more money oriented. And so yeah, Commander was the cash cow, and so they're like, well, why are we even like doing pro system, bro? We don't even need to pay for that shit. Let's just
Hmm.
focus on Commander players, and that's kind of what happened.
Well, hey, if they keep growing the UPF scene, maybe it'll be the cash cow. Who knows?
You're right. That would be a bad thing.
Nah, I mean, I doubt Fab would ever do that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
You know
can't
what
hate on
though?
other people having fun with it. If they're having fun with it, more power to them.
Yeah,
I just don't want to
it's a
play it.
fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of formats, should we
Oh,
go
true.
into? Yeah. Speaking of, man, it's sad to say, but speaking of unpopular formats, of
Uh-huh. Don't say it.
I know. We're both big fans of this format, and I think they are pushing it, and I really hope that it keeps growing. But the LL calling is happening as we speak,
Uh-huh.
and 204 players.
Yeah. Okay. I have some defenses for my favorite format. I don't know if it's my
Defend it.
favorite
Defend
format,
it.
but
It is
okay.
fun.
So a couple things. Obviously, it's in the beautiful city of Chicago in December.
Right.
Uh,
That's fair. That's fair. Yep.
and
Very cold.
probably pretty cold during the holidays, December, Christmas, all that. So there's
All
probably
right, hold
all
on.
those regular excuses.
Is it cold enough for you to not wear shorts?
Yeah, I don't think I'd wear shorts to that one. I don't think
Okay,
I
all right.
would. But it's also the history of draft thing that's going on. MinMax is throwing that at the same exact time. Which, if you don't
Oh,
know the history of draft, I think it was like what, like $200 for the package, and you got all of the promos. So like three press, the cold foil channel, the rune chance,
whoa.
all of that, and you got to draft every single set. And I know for a
Holy shit.
fact that people flew out there just for the history of draft.
I would have done that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fucking
see, there
that.
you go. There you go. And Justin, our local, he flew out there for the history of draft, right?
Hell yeah, that was good on him. Why didn't he tell me?
Uh, and then I think you said Majin was doing that too. You said he's a side event gamer
Side
this
event
weekend, right?
king, yeah. I don't know if he's doing that. I don't think he likes draft all too much, but I think he's just trying to. Oh, but he's playing Kano right now at the Battlehorn, so he is playing the Battlehorn.
Oh, okay.
Him and old
Well,
Peter.
sure. Okay. Well, not confirmed. I don't know if he played this or not, but say he did. That's one
Yeah.
player who
No,
probably
that's
would have went to
absolutely
the calling either way, and probably
right.
would have played the LL. But like
That's
it's just kind
fair.
of splitting the player base a little bit. I'd be interested to
Mm-hmm.
know how many people signed up for that history of draft. Probably at least 100, maybe 200, and then
Yeah, might have like got right at the same numbers. You might be right.
yeah, and then if that's the case, then it's like, well, this calling was super popular. So I don't know.
I mean, that's true. The calling itself, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe not the calling itself, but like the
Yeah,
event
that's a
was
good
super
point.
popular. Yeah,
Well, the event,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think those are some very good points. I didn't know about the draft thing. That actually, I think would splits. I mean, like that would make it hard for me because I like both of those formats, and I might have leaned towards the draft to be 100% honest with you. So I could definitely see me doing that.
And from like
Um,
a EV perspective, from like a I want to make my money back on this tournament perspective, it makes like
right.
the promos more than pay for the entry just off rip, right? Because I think it was like I
Yeah,
think it was $200 for the
absolutely.
package, and then the two channels, the two cold foil channels, pay for that, and then you still have the presses, you still have the rune chance. It's like a no, and then it's all the packs you open. It's crazy value. So I wonder if some people wanted to play the LL calling, but they're like, this is way too good of a deal. Someone who lives in Chicago, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not the
Oh,
most
for
competitive
sure.
player, but there's this crazy value here. I got to take it.
Do you think that's why they chose LL? Because they kind of also wanted them they wanted to kind of they did want to split basically like if they did CC you got to imagine that probably that one gets players out of the draft thing.
I think they did LL because it's min max games and they love Dustblade.
Okay, that's fair. They do like this play. That's a good
I
point.
could
That's a
I
good
could totally be wrong. Uh,
point.
I don't know. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? And why I do like the history of draft thing here.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
cool idea.
yeah, it's just weird that this was the event they chose to implement it, the first LL calling. So like kind of
Right.
shot the format in the foot. Um,
Yeah,
so
but
I
I guess if you had to do a format paired with this event, probably LL is the one because you wouldn't do Commoner because the people that play Commoner would probably do the draft thing, right?
sure, yeah.
And then like Blitz probably the same way. Also, there hasn't been a Blitz calling in like forever, and I don't think there will be, so that's just out of the window anyways. CC, I think you lose players from the draft thing because I think people just will do CCs. But in LL, I feel like is competitive enough to take is to have like the most even split. So
Hmm.
maybe that's why they did it. but it still sucks. So I would love the LL calling to have more players, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, see, if this event was in Vegas and you would go to it
Sure.
either way, right? You
Yeah,
wouldn't
because
play
you're
the
right. The
LL
cold
calling.
would be there. Yeah, actually right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
if it
don't
was
know.
just like a standalone event. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I don't know either, but I, I just hope we keep LL pushing forward because I'm with you. I'm a defender of LL. I think that format is so much fun. It's like peak Flesh and Blood in my eyes. Um, just the coolest stuff you could do there. So,
Yep.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out. Maybe this gets more people involved because, like, people love looking at top 8 deck lists, and so we're gonna get two because we got the Calling and the Battle Harden. So, 16 new decks to look at.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to both be LL. That's pretty cool. That they're really trying to double down on it. I actually wonder if the or Battle Harden will have more than the calling, because people will enter, get those promos, play a few drafts, and then Sunday enter the Battle Harden as well, and then all of the calling gamers will also be in the Battle Harden. That didn't make day
Yeah,
two. Who knows?
yeah. I don't know. I hope so.
And
I hope so.
yeah, we're recording on Sunday before Top Cut or anything, so
Yeah,
we haven't seen the top eight deck list. We don't know who's top eighting, but I very much want to. I'm excited to see what tops. I feel like there's gonna be some
I
cooks we haven't
am too.
seen yet.
I am too. I feel like Chris Eali seems to be consistently putting numbers in LL, so I feel like he'll be there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
He'll be
most
on Vis.
definitely.
He'll yeah
You think so?
yeah. Yeah, he's been rocking Vis for a hot minute, and I'd be surprised if he wasn't on Vis. I think he's figured that out pretty well.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then I think we'll probably get some Starvos, and there'll be one Dark Horse, and that would be cool. I'm not even sure what that would be, but yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited too. I'm excited too. Um, Speaking of excitement, though, I want to talk a little bit about the spoilers. We kind of mentioned a little bit about them, but we only talked about the Guardian ones, which, by the way, those are great spoilers.
Hmm.
We kind of shifted. We went to this KO spoiler, which cool card just doesn't put KO into the A tier or S tier by any means.
I'm not even
And so
sure
it
it
was like,
makes the cut.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if people don't run it. I don't know. It's hard to imagine where that card overperforms. So there's that. So we got a little dip when we got the KO card, but now we're back, dude. These spoilers that we're getting like in front of our face now are fucking hyped ass spoilers.
We got
Spoilers that I think
Arachne,
will help heroes out.
and we got a
We
whole
also got
new
Arachne, so
hero.
we
Yeah,
gotta
we
talk
got
about that.
Arachne. I didn't even think
So
about
fourth
that.
hero confirmed. Fourth
Uh,
hero confirmed. We have the fourth hero
right, because we have
because
slipped
it's
through
a
the
different Arachne.
cracks. This guy, and then yeah. True, true, true.
Yep. So two chaos, two draconic. It's going to be kind of just like Rosetta, I imagine, as far as that goes. You choose your
Hmm.
talent and then you choose your hero.
Uh,
Probably leans more towards assassin because there's two assassins.
Almost certainly, yeah, it'd have to.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of
which that might get funky.
in a draft, yeah, that seems.
Yeah, this feels like outsiders again, doesn't it? A little bit. Well,
It does, yeah, it does. Because you could imagine what is like a draft pod gonna look like? It's gonna be like four Arachne and then two of each of the other heroes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the ideal split would be that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
So then
that's
it's like,
four assassins,
are we even in?
two warriors.
Are we even in uprising? Yeah. Like, are we in Volcor? What's going on?
Well, I think how we talked about we don't want it to be a time travel thing. I think that's what we're getting, but I think that's the other thing too.
Why do you say that?
It just really looks that way. Let me go look at this spoiler real quick. Yeah, it really looks that way to me. Um, and I think that's like the whole shift. Like that's the chaos thing is like
Uh,
them shifting heroes, which is probably different heroes at different timelines. That's my prediction. Everyone's putting out their predictions right now, so fuck it, I'll put out mine. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I think we're getting a little chaotic with this in the sense of that.
yeah. Well, you know what else is interesting too is every other time they announce a hero, the market like immediately goes buck wild, and it didn't at
Sure.
all with this one. Like, didn't move at all.
I guess just because it's another Arachne. I don't
I mean,
know.
yeah, nothing really changes, I guess. Like we already kind of knew we were getting slipped through the cracks, and then this hero, it's like basically the same thing. So what would change?
Right.
Uh, yeah, just kind of an interesting tidbit.
I was trying to think as far as like limited in draft goes, like what would make me want to do one Arachne over the other. And I guess it's just the amount of marked cards you can draft. Because I guess if I draft a lot of marked cards, then I want the new Arachne that changes. But if I just don't have a lot of marked cards, then I guess the Arachne that just gives all my stealth or my first stealth attacks go again is probably just the better one.
You know it gives their first stealth attack go again too, right?
I know, but like
That alone
it's
makes
like
me want to be like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I
I
want to play
know,
this.
right?
In limited, at
Yeah,
least, yeah.
yeah, limited, yeah.
Especially if four assassins are in the pod, it's like I'm giving three other people in my pod go again.
I know.
That's tough.
Ain't no way that okay. I think we could positively say this. Ain't no way you'll ever be in a pod where there's only one Arachne.
No,
That's just will
no,
never happen.
never ever is gonna happen. Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be a one of Fang or one of Syndra, if anything.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably the
Uh,
warrior because it's a warrior.
probably, probably. I think that's pretty fair to say, to be
Yeah,
honest.
right.
Um, yeah, dude, I really think you're gonna see on average six assassins, 5 to 6. I don't think you get maybe okay if you're in the perfect pod, you can get the clean split, but I think people are just gonna navigate towards assassin cards like they did in Outsiders, and we're gonna get a little bit more heavy on that.
More so, way more so,
More
because
so,
it's chaos
yeah.
too. It's not just assassin. It's not three classes. It's three classes
True,
and two talents,
true,
and then one of the talents is
true.
just for that class. So it's gonna be
It
like,
actually even rewards you.
yeah,
Damn,
yeah. And if
that's
everyone
insane.
goes Arachne, it's like almost better for you because then your stuff gets go again.
Right. Yeah, true, true. Yeah. Okay, so there's gonna be generic cards that just mark. There has to be. Maybe
Yeah,
there's not,
and I
but it
bet you
feels like they
there's,
have to be.
I bet you there's generic dagger cards too, like bleed out
Sure.
type
Yeah,
things.
that
Yeah,
would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, Leo probably gets a reprint. That would actually make the most sense.
yeah,
Um, but like, yeah, past that, it's like because if you choose like between the two talents, right, Draconic or fucking chaotic,
chaos. Yeah.
like yeah, if you choose Draconic, then you still have to make a choice. But if you choose Chaotic, your choice is made.
Yeah, you're
Like
good.
just
Yeah.
draft Assassin cards from there on,
Yep.
and you're hella solid. It's actually easier to draft that way.
Yeah,
You
there
just don't have to
is
think about it so much.
like it would be so interesting if like there was like a chaos assassin and then a chaos, at least like one other hero, like a chaos ninja or something. Or if it was just a chaos ninja and a
Hmm.
chaos warrior. But it's like, yeah, there's no choice. Once you choose an assassin card or a chaos card, you're in that like you're presumably in that lane, right? Or like you're at least
Yeah,
leaning that direction.
which could dry up pretty fast actually too. So there will probably be 5 to 6 Arachnes, but probably 1 to 2 of them are going to be pretty shit.
Sure, yeah. Given their opponents go
Yeah.
again and everything.
Well,
I don't know why I like that so much. I just do.
yeah. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't matter too much, but it might, honestly.
I just bet I don't think anyone's really gonna draft that guy because not only does he do that, but he's like less health too.
He is less health. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, but the catch is that guy is better into the draconic heroes.
It depends. We'll have to see how everything goes. But like maybe Assassin wants to fatigue him anyway.
Sure.
Or
Maybe, yeah, I
like
guess we'll have to see.
it's tough, yeah. Because if it's a Draconic set, then everything
Yeah.
blocks too. While the Draconic cards are gonna block too, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Assassin cards typically block 3. Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. We'll
Yeah, I mean,
see.
it could be. I don't know. I mean, god damn, though, like a fatigue set that just like has knives as weapons kind of sucks. That's a long game.
Yeah. Well, it is, but people talk about Ira mirrors, like those welcome deck Ira mirrors, like they're the funnest shit ever. So
Yeah, it was a little different, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, um, that's fair. Maybe the Draconic Heroes be a little bit pushed, just for limited sake.
They'd have to be, right?
Yeah, maybe it'd be like you just have better reds or some shit. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we got some other spoilers as well. Uh, One I kind of want to talk about is the Ranger spoiler because we get a Ranger
The
spoiler
trap.
every set. We are
Yes.
the trap. So
A Riptide spoiler every set.
another Riptide card. Yeah, yeah, every set. This one is a lot different than the other ones.
It is. Yeah, it's like you could activate a
Yeah,
non-attack on your
yeah,
opponent's turn.
yeah. It feels more of a wizardy fucking spoiler than Verdant's spoiler, to be honest with you.
Right, it does. Yeah, it's like we were talking about last episode where they're just meshing all the classes together.
Yeah. So yeah, uh 100%. And we got another spoiler that fits right into that. I actually want to talk about that a little bit, but I want to give this one its due because I think this one's super cool. Like, so Riptide is you could technically do it for Azalea if like you did Sandscar or Great Bow and like New Horizon, but that's a lot of fucking work. Riptide's the one to do it. It's still kind of hard though with Riptide, just because you got to like line it up right. You got to just happen to have a non-attack you can play on your opponent's turn. But you brought up a pretty good one, which is pretty spicy. I kind of like it. But you brought up three of a kind as a option to play.
Wouldn't that be so fun if you played the trap card, then Tunic and three of a kind, draw three, and then you don't have the drawback because it's their turn, and then on your turn you could play a.
Just
Well, you block with those two cards and then play a 7 card hand if you block with both from your arsenal.
that would be great.
Oh wait, but if it's the only
See,
one in your
you're
arsenal,
thinking,
then you'd
yeah,
have to Riptide it. So 6 card hand, yeah.
yeah. Well, see, but you're thinking too small. All right, you play three of a kind for an arsenal. You draw another trap. You put that trap on. Put your other three of a kind that you just
True.
drew. Put that down.
And
Draw
why
more
stop
cards.
there? Trap again, three of a kind again, 12 card hand. uh,
Busted, bro.
what would be other good ones? Probably
And
the
then Riptide just can't
codexes.
do anything with 12 cards.
Right, yeah, you're just like 12
Codexes,
cards.
yeah.
Throw an arrow, arsenal pass.
Oh man. Yeah, but Codex is an interesting one. I don't know if it makes sense just because like they can play because you have to do an attack that has go again to activate the trap. So then
Oh,
they'll be
right.
able to play their arsenal. So it's like it doesn't
Um,
really hurt them as
what
much.
are the other
But
like? What does inertia do? Inertia could mess up their turn, right?
uh Inertia could actually mess up their turn. Yeah, it, like puts a card from on top of their deck into their arsenal. If they don't have an empty slot in their arsenal, that would just give them an inertia token basically. So that would be kind of nice.
Right, but even if they don't have one, then you make them discard a card. They get a random card that they might not be
And
able to use, and then
random card. Right. Yeah. So
yeah,
it wouldn't even be great for them either. Yeah. Good
so
point.
that could
Yeah.
be
And then
good.
Blood Rot Pox isn't terrible either. The Codex Blood Rot. So yeah. Oddly enough, this is the one time where Codex Frailty is probably the weakest Codex.
Right, yeah. I mean, well, if they have one card in hand and they're playing like a bigger
Uh huh.
deck, and then you play
Right.
that, and then they have to discard their blue, which then they can't activate the card in their arsenal. Probably the worst one, but it could work.
Yeah. It could. In an ideal, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
like
could.
if you
Like
did
maybe
it
you hit
against
a
the
Zeta
Guardian.
Selfie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And like, why do you have this strat that hurts go against a Guardian?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Or a brute. There you go. If you did it against a
Okay,
brute. Yeah,
there
there
you
you
go.
go.
That one makes sense. That
Yeah.
one makes sense. Um, you could always grab plan for the worst. I think that's what I've heard a lot of people saying, which is like just
I think
um,
that's the one they want you to grab. That's the obvious
right.
one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. But we like to think a little bit outside the
We
box.
gotta
You
cook a
know,
little bit. Yeah.
gotta cook a little bit.
Is there any
But
generic thing that would be good?
ooh, I don't know
Hey, Toma
actually.
Fendal would be good.
Oh shit, that would be great. Holy fuck. That's why they banned it.
Not true. This is why they banned it.
Yeah. You know what? A little shout out to our boy Peter. Chains of Imminence. Pick up your cold foils now, bro.
True. True. Wait, did Pete actually say that idea, or we just talking because he likes Chains of Eminence,
Because he
period?
likes chains.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he's a defender of it.
That would be honestly a good one
It would
though.
be a
Like
good one though.
actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
you'd have to play Chains of Eminence in your Ranger
And
deck,
that's
which
not
doesn't
feeling
make any
great.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you could play
Uh,
8, Fog Down.
Fog down. Yeah. True. True. We get pretty wacky with this. That's for sure.
um,
Uh,
Warmongers.
Speaking of yeah. Oh, Warbanger's kind of cool, but yeah, I don't, yeah. Oh, that fucks
Oh,
you though. It fucks you.
true. Yeah, you're a Ranger. Hey,
Yeah.
tell him your LL thing that you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of LLs, we can run with this with Lexi, and it actually like works very well because you can, because you have New Horizon, and because Lexi's ability has you flip over a card, you could just flip over that card and just wait to use that card until you have something that's in your arsenal that you'd want to use, like Channel Lake Frigid, you know, playing Icelander. So that's how you keep Channel Lake Frigid for 3 turns is playing it on their turn. Arctic Incarceration. I mean, like, fucking Lexi has a little bit of Icelander in her now with this card.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I like that a lot. Yeah.
I do too. I do too. I'm pretty excited. I like this new card. I just like how fun it is. I don't know if it'll help Riptide all that much. I'll put a Riptide deck together. I'm optimistic, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. This card.
I think it's just like every other Riptide card we get. It is good, probably just straight an upgrade, but not enough.
Yeah, yeah, true, 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 true.
He hasn't gotten like
Um,
that bomb that he just desperately needs it. Like Prism, she needed one expansion card. She needed the weapon. And
the
then she
weapon.
went from F tier
Mhm.
to A tier, right?
Yeah, yeah, she did for a hot minute there. Yeah,
And that's just what
yeah. I
Riptide
I mean,
needs.
where Tide's in this weird spot because he's technically a ranger, but he doesn't operate like your traditional ranger. He operates more like a guardian, maybe even like a defensive warrior, which right now is not in a great spot because of Enigma, because of Misfell, really.
It just depends how you build him. You could build him aggressively. Why not?
You could. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what you would have to do right now. And go for like the Merc Myers, the always hit sort of shit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think there's way. I mean, traps obviously kills, stuff like that. So I don't know. There's Riptide can grow. I'm gonna cook with him. I'm not giving up on him. I'm cooking with him.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
so we'll
people
see.
don't build him aggressively, just
That
because
is
like
true.
it just sucks. But
Yeah,
it just sucks because he just hasn't had the right support. So like the best way to
yeah.
play him is just the best numbers, and the best numbers are just like Sinks, Fates, and Wounded Bulls, and like that's not a Riptide thing. That's just like a
That's
Flesh and
just
Blood
generic
thing.
good
If you
deck.
were to play like any Flesh and Blood hero that was terrible, that's probably the best way to play him. Because
Yeah,
like, how else can
play
you do
cheat is
it?
what you need that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah. Anyway,
exactly. So it's just like
uh,
his real play style, the way he's supposed to be played, is like
yeah.
reloading with his hero power and everything,
Yep,
and that
yep.
indicates an aggressive play style. So,
It does. It does.
uh,
Yeah. No, yeah, I think there's room to cook with him. Maybe he will be more aggressive. We'll see. We'll see. Be about it. All right. Now, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's gonna be tough for him when Death Dealer's gone.
I think he can survive without that dealer. Truly, I
Okay.
think. I even think his token bow is okay. But honestly, I think Dreadbore is pretty good.
If you're on that slower game plan, I do think so. Yeah. But if you're
Yeah,
on like that
yeah.
aggro Riptide, it's like you need that Death Dealer.
Death dealer does help with that. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. I want to talk about Provoke, which is the new
Provoke.
warrior.
The blue?
The new warrior. Yeah, the blue.
That
Yeah, well,
card's
it's only
great.
blue because it's majestic.
That
It's
card's great.
awesome. I want to talk about this card because when I saw this card, it reminded me of the conversation of everyone's just getting uh more and more I don't know, it feels like we're all getting the same cards just in different classes. Because
Yeah.
this is a Siren's Call. Siren's Call is actually a little bit better, but this is a Siren's Call.
Siren's Call is way, way better. But this is a blue.
Yeah.
They choose the card,
The
right?
blue. cost one. They do choose to card as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool because like they can't choose a defense reaction. That's actually kind of cool. Um,
Oh, they have
and
to
then
choose
they
an
can't
action,
get
right?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they can choose defense reaction. It just gets discarded. Um, yeah, it's but it's interesting. Like, yeah, this is a great warrior card, but like we've seen this card before, basically, and so it makes me think like, are we going to see more cards like that? Basically, like, are we going to see a guardian version? Are we going to see, a ranger version?
You know
Um,
what I thought when I seen this card, and I agree with what you're saying. It's like
yeah,
yeah, they understand that this design space is okay and they're willing to do this with other classes.
hmm
Which I feel like on the first card they probably thought it was a risk. Um, but
probably.
when I seen this card, I thought of commanding performance.
Oh, sure, yeah. How everything has a command and conquer.
No, no, commanding performance. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, like kind of
Okay,
moving
yeah,
on from what you're saying is like if you
okay,
attack a
yeah. Break it
guardian
down.
who has an arsenal and they have to give you a card and they only play attacks because they're victor, then they have to give you a
Great.
card and you blow up their arsenal.
That's fun.
I don't know that
That's
it's
actually pretty.
fun. It might just be broken. Like it might just be good. Like this just might be how you play the class now. Cuz
That's actually pretty cool.
and then commanding performance I actually thought was going to be a big winner in this set anyway because you want to hit marked heroes. And if you commanding performance and your opponent's marked and you attack them, it's like, well, fuck. I either block and lose my arsenal or I let him hit me while I'm marked and he gets a fealty. So they're in a fucked situation either way. And then if you throw this new blue card, I forgot the name already, on top of that, it's just like, okay, well, now
Provoke.
commanding performance is good on another level. Uh,
Right.
so I think it's like a huge, huge winner. Probably the best pickup you can get on the market right now. It's so funny that we just keep bringing up the market, but like, I think it's going to be a banger card.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like that. One thing I thought about when it comes to provoke is because fealty goes away as soon as you get hit, or sorry, being marked goes away as soon as you are hit.
Hmm.
Like you become marked, and then once you get hit, like you're done being marked. Like if you don't want them to take damage, you could actually play provoke, force a card for them to block, basically, or I guess they still choose, but if they only have attack actions,
Hmm.
and then they're still marked, and it's like then you can like come in with an attack after that, like maybe deals with being marked or something.
Yeah, another thing too is like, I mean, it just goes so well in like the existing Kasai decks. Like you attack with Hot Streak, they're like, okay,
Yeah,
I
because
don't want
that
to
makes
give him,
sense.
I don't want to give him my attack because I don't want to give Kasai go
Right.
again. So I'll block
Go
with my
again.
only non-attack. Okay, well now I'll provoke. You have one less non-attack in your
Right.
hand. You might just not have non-attacks left, which puts my Centauri Saber up one or turns on my commanding performance or whatever it may be.
The card is for sure a one for one, and that's always good. But like,
Uh,
yeah, forcing the well, I guess if they don't have a card in their hand,
if
because they
they,
have to discard if they don't show you an attack action
but they'll have an attack or it just needs an action.
or an action, right, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But like,
just needs an action.
yeah, but as long as the card will always take a card out of their hand, whether it's like blocking or gets discarded.
Right, but if they're blocking and getting value out of that block, then it's just like you burned a card to make them block, which they maybe were on the fence on anyway.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. I
But if
get
you
that.
attacked with hot streak and then they blocked and you activate it on that hot streak so they overblock, then it's a card for a
Right.
card because they get no value out of
Yep.
that block. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
fair. That is fair. Um, no, I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about it, like the Kasai of Hot Streak. That is really cool. Yeah. So I wonder if there's just going to be more heroes with like this sort of build. Maybe like more heroes that do one-handed stuff. That's the common denominator right now, but I don't even think it has to be that. It could just be any hero, I feel. Just forcing blocks to happen. Maybe make it aggro, making the game less aggro by forcing blocks.
And then, dude, this card just seems so good. Like, everyone wants to block with two cards and throw two cards. So if you
Yep.
threw a weapon and they're trying to play around an attack reaction, so they put two cards in front of it and then you provoke and it's like, crap, now he got my other card
Right.
and I just have to pass my turn. It just seems so good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about it. It's a warrior one, so it's like the first one we're getting that's not an expansion slot. So it's
Yeah,
we're
true,
seeing the cool
actually.
stuff. We're
Yeah,
seeing the cool
true.
stuff now.
I love that card. I
Uh,
am all in on that card. It's great.
it is really really cool, honestly. Um,
What
yeah,
else do we get?
I was wondering. I'm actually looking at the spoiler page right now. Anyone else we might have gotten? Um, we got the we talked about the coal. We got the. I think we talked about the. I think we got everything we talked about already. I
That's
think that's it.
everything? Okay, cool.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel weird
Uh,
like we didn't get to talk about Assassin that much, but like there really just ain't that much to say about it.
yeah. I think the biggest take was just the limited take. I mean, we'll know more when we get like specializations stuff.
Oh wait,
Do
didn't
you
we
think Red
get
just died? What's that? What are
we
you
did
looking
get
at?
one more.
Warcry? Which one?
Um the one that didn't go on the spoiler page.
Hmm.
What was it?
There's
Oh, maybe it was the Guardian cards. We didn't talk about those. That's what they are.
okay. I mean, we talked about them a little bit, but we
But
can
not
talk
the
about them a
aura
little bit more.
destruction. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sure. Yeah.
Cuz I was talking to people at locals about this and then they said you said something different, so I did want your take. I was
Oh,
saying
sure.
like this card seems horrible against everything that's not exactly Prism. And then they said you said it'd be good in a bunch of matchups. So I'd love to hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're talking about Roiling Fissure, the one that destroys an aura. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So first off, I want to point out because someone had to point this out to me, and it's very cool. Did you notice that that's Channel Mount Heroic getting fucked in the art?
I did not. No, now that you mention it, I noticed it. Yeah, but I didn't even think about that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that
I
is
mean, like
cool.
that's an aura. Technically, that's one
Yeah,
you can fuck over.
that is true.
I don't know
Yeah,
if that's the problem aura, but that is
right.
one you can fuck over.
Sure.
Uh, so yeah. So first off, you get any of the channels, right? Frigid, Valley. Valley is probably the big one. Um, Heroic, yeah. Get any of the channels. Um, then you can get Malefic incantations. That's a big one too, right?
Sure.
Uh,
So,
that's a
are you saying you're just gonna like play this card? Just like most of the time, you're just gonna play this card.
so what really works for this card is that it's a blue block 3.
Mm-hmm.
So like the floor is right where it needs to be. Like it makes the deck on those principles alone. Um, this card is probably a sideboard card, but you'd be surprised how many times you'd bring it in. Basically, it is good against Prism. I think it's still fine into Enigma. To be honest, I think you do want stuff like this, because especially if you can get a mirror guy, right? Like that's the big baddie. If you can get him out of the way without having an attack into him, done, right? Like Waning Moon and Waxing Spectre, a little less so, but hey,
So,
you'll take those.
would you play it in your Jarl deck? Right, like right now? Would you throw a tectonic plating and these in there for this?
So you don't actually need tectonic plating.
How you getting it?
Uh,
The
the
new chess piece?
you don't need to do seismic. You don't even need to have seismic search. The seismic search lets you to do it twice.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
way better than I thought it was then.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
If you,
you've
yeah.
sold me on it. You've
All
sold
right,
me.
there you
It's
go.
just a blue block 3 that pops an aura. I'm in.
Exactly. It has go again. That's like the best part about it. It's like you can still do stuff after the fact.
Right. I
Uh,
still think it probably wouldn't be a card you'd play in like Victory because you have to win your clashes and whatnot. But in Jarl, yeah, throw
fortunately,
it in.
yeah, Jarl. Yeah, you definitely want this in Jarl. Bravo, it makes the most sense in because then you can get those seismic surge tokens to do it multiple times, But yeah, I think this Guardian card's really good. It's been needed for a minute, for a good while.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, I think this is, Starvo going back to LL. He's gonna run it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you've sold me. This card is, yeah, way better. I didn't realize it was repeated for X, where X is your seismic search, so you don't need one to do it.
right.
That makes it
No,
so
no,
much better. Yeah, and then
it does. It does.
Starvo really needed this. And I mean, you heard me last week. We had like a local LL tournament, and I was just shitting
Mm.
on Prism because it just feels so bad. It's like you're playing the same 80, and everyone else has like 20, 30 new cards. Matchups you were
Yeah.
already losing got 20, 30 upgrades.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
so it's like, man, my deck just feels so bad. And then to see this, It's like, fuck, dude, this is rough. So I wonder if
I
like,
know, right?
I wonder if Starvo plays like Tectonic Rift with this, just to like never lose against Prism. You know what I mean?
You could, and you could start. That would justify playing pulverized more too. Could he burn more
Yeah,
than just one pulverized
yeah, you could, you could.
if you do stuff like this?
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
because it's
Awakening,
still popper. Oh yeah,
Awakening.
no, awakening with this card is
Get your
actually sick
seismic
too.
surges.
Honestly,
And
yeah,
then you play it, it has go again, and then you still pulverize them?
yeah, yeah,
Bro!
exactly, dude. You go, bop, 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 you know. No, yeah,
I'm
it's
sold.
this is LL's Prism Warmongers. Honestly, this is like
Oh,
the
that's
one thing you get to just shut them down.
no, this is worse. Warmongers, you have to take a turn off. Prism, this is
Oh,
like,
that's true. You know, you have to take a turn off of this.
well, like, and also it's like, okay, if I'm an Azalea, it's like they Warmongers, I lose the tempo. That sucks. But that's not
Right.
game. If I'm Prism and I
Okay.
built a board and you blow it up and attack me for 14, it's over, bro. It's done. The game is done. Oh God.
Uh,
I was
that's
down on
good shit.
Prism before this, but now it's like I don't want to touch the hero.
Hey, hold on now. Hold
In
on. She's
LL, in LL.
we're still no, I know what you're talking about. We're still supposed to get a splitter for her. Expansion spot splitter. And
We
I know
did.
that they said it's in the future it's supposed to make sense, but maybe that's they're only talking about CC. Maybe it
Right.
makes sense right now for LL.
I
Who
could see
knows?
that. I could totally see that. And I am down on Prism right now, but I still feel like you know, we're gonna go back to Monarch at some point, and I like Prism's just such a loved class. I feel like they can't let it not be good for too long. I'm sure her day is coming.
All right. Yeah, she's got it. She'll be back. She'll be
She'll
back.
definitely be back, but
People love her, so she will be back.
they can't not let her come back with how much she's loved.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if Arachne came back, she'll be back. But yeah, so yeah, I like the card. I think it's really good. I like the foots as well. The feet for the I actually like it over Nowhere Boots. I know a lot of people, yourself included, was just like just run Nowhere Boots. It makes more sense, and in some ways it does. But I think AB2 is all you really need with a Guardian.
I mean, it's just like so matchup dependent and everything. It's like, what kind of wizard are we talking about playing against right now?
Right.
If it's a wizard that strictly does arcane damage, then it's like I would really, really rather have AB3. If it's a wizard that attacks and does arcane damage, like an Acilio or a like Verdance or Icelander or something,
Hmm.
then it's like I guess you could get block and then mitigation, I guess, on
Right.
Acilio. Not even on Verdance, but like on Acilio, I guess you could. But it's just so similar to Spellfray. And Spellfray has never
Yeah.
seen play, so I don't know why this one would. It's like a very slight upgrade to Spellfray.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's what's nice about it is that it could replace Civic Steps, and then you just that's one less spot to have. You
Uh,
could just always mainboard this basically.
I mean, then it's just like it's like Spellfray and Iron Rot built into one.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
that's how it. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think it replaces Civic Steps. Blocking for two is a lot.
it is. It is. It just fucking sucks giving him a quick token. That's the only fucking thing.
It does, but like also again depends on the Guardian. But like those new Earth shoes for the new Guardian, I don't hate them.
Yeah,
I
those
actually
aren't bad.
I kind of like
Those aren't
them,
bad.
and I would never
Yeah,
play this card over those Earth shoes. I guess unless my deck straight
sure.
had no auras, maybe. But or like
Right.
that's how you get the embodiment, right? You have to block with an aura.
Uh, for the Earth shoe, I think you just hit the block of another Earth card.
Oh, is it an Earth card?
Are you talking about the one from the Jarl
Yeah,
deck?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think you just have to block with an Earth card, and then you get a. Or maybe I'm thinking of the chest.
I think you're thinking of the chest.
I think I'm thinking of the
I think
chest.
this one you have to block with an aura.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
like
think you're right. One of them was that, and it would have been that. Yep. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I guess if you were straight playing zero auras, then maybe these new boots make sense. But you never would. You're always playing channel,
Yeah. I
and you're
mean, yeah.
probably
There's
always
two
playing
channels now.
imposing visage, and then you're probably
Yeah.
always playing crumble to eternity.
Yeah. Hypothermia. Um,
True. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
There's,
Insidious Chill.
there's a lot of auras you would just want to
There's
play
yeah, so
anyway. So
it's not
yeah,
hard at all. Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, yeah. All right, I think that's it then. Yeah,
yeah, I
because
think that's it.
we talked about the other ones already. Um, all right. Did we talk about the Katsu one?
Last time we sure did. Yep, we sure did.
Okay, cool,
Hey,
cool.
but listening to
Yeah.
other people's opinions on that, they're saying like this card's busted.
No, actually, I made a deck and I'm like, hold on, I actually think this card is actually real.
Yeah, like Lucas was saying like this might be the best card ever, and I'm like, what? I don't. Man,
Yeah,
I'm just not a Katsu guy. I'm sure he's right, like or more right than I am about it being like, but
it's like a little band-aid, I think. And like, yeah, I was with you, man. I was like, that's pretty cool. You can do multiple things now. But it's like once I put it together, I was like, ooh, this looks like it cooks. Like this looks pretty
okay.
good.
I'm excited to see it. I'm not a Katsu guy, so don't take my opinion too seriously. But yeah, it
Same
does seem
here.
like just a band-aid, and
Yeah.
that band-aids don't like scream broken to me. But totally, I would much rather listen to the people who have actually played with the card. So I'm excited to test with it. If other people are
Oh
excited
yeah.
about it, I would like to play it.
Hell yeah.
But I think that's all we got,
That's all we
unless you had
got.
anything else. All
I
right.
think that's it.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week, just like we see you guys every week. That's all I got for you guys today. Later, gamers.
Keep on fabbing.